What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. How are you all doing? I am excited. Today we're going to do the Priest talent trees that have come out for Dragonflight. Okay? So I've got all three of the specs here, and I'm going to go through all of them. I have a lot of tabs up here that are open. So I've got the main sort of tab here. We've got Holy Priest. We've got Disc Priest here and Shadow Priest. I've got a tree kind of mocked up on all three of them that I want to do, but there's some really important points that I want to make overall, and then there's a couple of extra exceptions I want to show you guys about different things you might not know. There's an Idol of Yashiraj explanation that has been done. If you don't know what that talent is yet, we'll get there. Don't worry about it. Let me start off with a couple of important things. So there are baseline abilities that come with each class, okay? So right here, we got base abilities. So important to understand that we are not being stripped of every single ability that we have, right? So a lot of people are complaining. They're like, oh my God, these new talent trees, they like get rid of our base abilities that we already have. And like, that's partially true, but you're going to see that that doesn't matter. I'll show you in a minute why that doesn't matter, but yes, you have to pick things like Prayer Mending and Renew, and you have to pick things like Shadow Rez Death and Heal. Yes, that might seem like we're losing something compared to what we have now, but what we're not losing is a lot of different things. So here's a bunch of baseline priest abilities, okay? You get Smite, Shadow Rez Pain, Resurrection, Power Word Shield, Fortitude still. You get Mind Vision, Mind Soothe, Mind Blast. That's important. Levitate, Flash Heal, Fade, Desperate Prayer, Psychic Scream, Dispel Magic, Focus Will. So you do get your free Dispel as a healer. You still get that. You get your Flash Heal, which is one of your main abilities, for free. You get Mind Blast, which is really, really good. You get Smite, which is good. Shadow Word Pain, Power Word Shield. Like, those are your combat abilities that you still get for free for baseline, no matter what priest you're playing, okay? So just keep that in mind. Because some people are kind of freaking out, and they're like, oh my God, this tree shows me that I'm losing, like, so much stuff. It's like, yes, you're losing some stuff that you're going to get back. You get to talent back into it. And also, there's a bunch of things that you're not losing. You're getting these already. Okay, number two, we are getting so many more talents than we have right now, okay? So right now in the game, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of talents, and you can only pick one. You can only pick one. So you get 7 talents. We are getting 61 choices here, okay? 61 freaking choices. Yes, some of these abilities you have baseline that you have to go get again. I understand that. However, the advantage of this new system is that if I don't need to pick a particular ability, like Mind Games or something, I can instead go and pick something like Holy Word Life, and we'll get to what that means in a minute. If I don't need my Shadow Fiend on my Holy Priest, because I'm in a raid, and my Shadow Fiend is probably a lot better for dungeons, I can save myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points and go put it into something else. If I don't need Mind Control, which we have it as a baseline ability right now. I have Mind Control. What if I don't need Mind Control because I'm in a raid? Well, now I can take those points and spend them somewhere else, right? It gives you the choice to do whatever you want with your character, and that is more powerful than just getting those abilities as a baseline on your baseline character. It's better to be able to choose which abilities you want versus just getting a whole bunch baseline and then only having 7 talent choices. Instead, I get to have 61 talent choices, and that's way better. It's way, way better, and you're going to see why. Let me get into all the different classes, okay? We're going to start, or the specs, so we're going to start with Holy. I am going to go over the Priest tree first. Then we'll do the 3 specs. I need to go really quick here because otherwise this video is going to be like 500 minutes long, and my videos are already long. So, we're going to get there. One of my goals for this video is to just try and highlight some interesting things with each of the specs and each of the different trees. I'm not going to necessarily go over every single ability because you can look them up for yourself, but there are some really interesting ideas here, okay? So for the baseline priest tree, you have the defensive side over here, and an offensive side over here. It's split right down the middle with a lot of your utility. So healing, damage, utility down the middle. Obviously, there's power infusion here. You're pretty much always going to want to take this. And I think one of the absolute most broken things in all of Dragonflight is going to be Twins of the Sun Priestess. This is currently a legendary effect in Shadowlands. You'd have to sacrifice your entire legendary in Shadowlands just to get this effect, and you get it for free on every priest. This is really good for priest because it means that you bring additional utility to a raid group, especially for something like Shadow Priest. You get Twins of the Sun Priestess. So you can now power infuse another DPS, and you also get it yourself. 2 power infusions every time you press it. That is extremely broken, and it gives additional raid utility to a priest, which means you might want to bring a Shadow Priest into your raid. There's more viability of having a Shadow Priest in your raid, which is very cool. That's actually really cool. So obviously it's just broken to have power infusion and this legendary effect already. But on top of that, thinking about the broader scope of things, it's really, really good utility in a raid. So what else does priest get? Well, you've got your prayer mending renew. You get benediction for free. Right now, this is a talent that competes with Divine Star and Halo for like a holy priest, for example. You can just get this for free. And then you can also go get Divine Star or Halo. You're going to see that a lot in my talk here. There are so many moments, there's so many parts of the tree that give you 2 or 3 talents that we currently can't pick right now because they're all competitors for each other, right? This is an example right here. I get Benediction for free over here. I can go get Divine Star or Halo over here. That's 2 out of the 3 talents. Right now, I only get to pick 1. So that's really cool. You have all your Prayer of Mending stuff over here on the left side, your Renew talents. You have Mana Regeneration here, which is really good. Then there's kind of some Holy Nova stuff that's really bad, I think. And we're going to have to see what the numbers are on this. But traditionally, these Holy Nova and Holy Nova talents are actually quite bad. Holy Nova does more damage if you're shielded. Holy Nova has a chance to strike. It is guaranteed to strike an additional time if you hit 3 targets. But, like, the numbers on Holy Nova are just very bad. There's better buttons to press to do damage. So I don't know why this is here. And I really actually hope that Blizzard takes a hard look at Holy Nova, like these 3 talents here, and really maybe changes them. So then you keep going. Smite deals more damage. Interesting. Smite deals 50% more damage up here. Smite deals 10% more damage down here if you're shielded. Very interesting. Smite has 20% increased cast speed while you are above 75% health. Okay? That's insane. Also, Flash Heal and Heal, Prayer of Healing, they all get 20% more cast time. That's, like, mandatory in Mythic Plus, I think, for sure. But, like, one thing I'm going to highlight for Holy Priest is they're getting so many more damage options. Smite does 50% more damage. Smite does 10% more damage. Smite casts 20% faster. That's crazy. That's really crazy because Smite reduces the cooldown of your Holy Word Chastise, right? And we're going to see more DPS options over in the Holy Tree. But this is just really, really good for both Disc and for Holy. These Smite buffs are really crazy. Not going to be as good for Shadow Priest, who actually will have access to Smite. So I don't know, maybe there's some Smite shenanigans you can do with Shadow Priest, but for now it's kind of a little strange. Down here there's a new talent called Renew does heals for more, less mana cost. Here's an interesting new talent, a Holy Word Life. A word of holy power that heals your target. If the target is not below 20% health, the caster takes damage equal to the amount healed. Healing is increased by 150% to targets who are below 20%. So this is like an emergency triage button that you get. And for like a Holy Priest, it could be really good. But for Disc Priest, I think in particular, this could be very, very strong. Because for Disc Priest, you don't really have big emergency buttons to get people out of the depths of their health bar. You really only have Shadow Mend, which hits really hard, but that's all you have. You don't have Sanctify. Sorry, you don't have like a Serenity, right? You don't have Holy Word Serenity. So this might be interesting for Disc Priest. It could just be straight up bad. Who knows? It's also a Holy Word, which I'm assuming means it can get reduced by the passive benefits of Holy Priest. But so we'll see. Might be interesting. Down here's all your shielding stuff, right? Casting Power Word Shield on an ally also shields you. That's interesting. Desperate Prayer heals you for more, whatever. This is a legendary effect. Power Word Shield instantly heals the target for 514 and then reflects damage. It actually does a substantial amount of damage. Hero was testing this. It does a lot of damage, guys. Just let me make that clear. In a Mythic Plus dungeon, for example, if you combine this with something like Rapture for Disc Priest, this does a lot of damage. So we're getting Mind Games here, which is really good and really, really good for Disc Priest in particular. And then over here you have Shadow Fiend, a whole bunch of Shadow Fiend, Mindbender Conduit right here, and then a Mindbender Legendary effect, which is very, very powerful for doing damage. Very, very strong for doing damage. I think that this is going to be exceptionally strong for all priests to do more damage. So I think that's really good. If you're wondering, this basically says Mind Blast and Shadow Word Death cause your Shadow Fiend to teleport behind enemies and do a big slash. You get Mind Blast baseline as every priest spec. So you can do this as a holy priest if you want to. Then there's utility in the middle, Mass Dispel, Mind Control, Leap of Faith, yada, yada, yada. Up here, you've got Masochism, I think it's very interesting. Also, you could take Shadow Mend as a holy priest if you want to, but let's pretend like you're only going to do it as a disc priest. Then you can get the this is a talent right now for disc priests that is never taken because there's better competition on that row. When you Shadow Mend yourself, its damage over time effect heals you instead and reduces all damage you take by 10%. This is insane for priests. Priests do not have a damage reduction ability in their kit. They don't have a good one. Right? You get a Desperate Prayer heal, which is garbage. This could make it so that right before you're about to get hit by a big mechanic in a raid or something, you just Shadow Mend yourself. And it heals you over time and gives you 10% damage reduction. That's powerful, guys. That's powerful stuff. This talent was never taken before because what's competing for it on the same row, which I'll show you a little bit later, there's a lot of competition for it, right? So, improved Mind Blast, improved Shadow Mend. So, interesting stuff. Again, DPS, utility in the middle, and healing on the left side. There's a lot of really cool stuff there. Let's move on to the Holy Priest tree. And again, I want to just highlight some really important stuff. Let me get my notes out here. You move over there. You move over there. Okay. One thing I really want to highlight that's super important to understand. What Holy Priest is getting in this expansion in Dragonflight is more damage than they even had before. In Shadowlands right now, Holy Priest got a huge amount of damage. Power Infusion coming back, but not only that, they got Holy Fire is very, very strong. You can press Shadow Word Death. There's a bunch of extra tools that Holy Priest got to do lots of damage. Now, they're continuing that trend here in Dragonflight. If you go down the right-hand side of the tree, there's a whole bunch of buffs to damage. So let me just also say a couple more things. So Twist of Fate, I forgot to mention, is baseline on the class tree. This has got to be mandatory, in my opinion, for all priests. This talent currently competes with other talents in the priest trees for Shadow and Disc, and it's rarely taken because the competition, again, is so strong. You don't even get this as a holy priest. You can now get Twist of Fate as a holy priest for free. That's insane. 20% increased healing, 20% increased damage. Like, every execute phase is going to be bonkers. It does say that you have to heal a target below 35% health. So for Shadow Priest, this will be maybe slightly harder to optimize. But you literally could take like a Renew. You could take Renew as a Shadow Priest. And then like for min-maxing, you're going to heal one of your buddies when he dips below 35% health. And then boom, you get this buff. So that sounds kind of stupid. But for both the healing classes, especially Holy Priest, this is a massive buff to Holy Priest because they didn't even have access to Twist of Fate before. So that's one. The next thing I want to say is that Shadow Fiend and Mindbender, these are big damage boosts to Holy Priest, as I said before. Mind Games is not a Covenant choice that you usually took as a Holy Priest. Now you're getting it baseline. And then obviously the Power Infusion buff is really, really crazy. Let's look at this. Let's look at all the talents that you can now grab as a Holy Priest that you had to choose between before. The very first row of Holy Priest is Enlightenment, 10% more mana regen. Trail of Light, and Renewed Faith. Renewed Faith is your healing on targets with Renew is increased by 10%. You can now get all 3 of these talents. All 3 of them you can grab. Enlightenment is now over here, so you can get that that's number 1. Trail of Light is here, number 2, and Renewed Faith is also over here. They're both over there. So you can have all 3 of the first talent, the level 15 talent rows in the current game, okay? Now, let's move forward. You can also grab Afterlife, which was not something that was typically taken in Shadowlands because Guardian Angel, was so powerful. Now you can actually get both. Guardian Angel basically says when your Guardian Spirit saves a target from death, it does not expire. When Guardian Spirit does expire, you reduce its cooldown. So it's this amazing kind of cheat death mechanic for other people. But now you can get Afterlife, which is really cool. Your Spirit of Redemption duration goes up by 50%. Your range of your spells goes up by 50%. As a Spirit of Redemption, you may sacrifice your spirit to resurrect an ally, putting yourself at rest. This is crazy. So, like, this is another Battle Rez, but it doesn't count towards being a Battle Rez. So it's actually, I think, very powerful. You can take this now because you can also take Guardian Angel and get away with it. You can also take Binding Heal, which they're changing, because in the current game it's Binding Heals. They made it passive. It's going back to being an active ability now. Heals your target, another friendly target within 20 yards, reduces the remaining cooldown on both Holy Word, Serenity, and Sanctify by 3 seconds. So it's an interesting spell. It might actually be a bad spell still, but my point here is simply to say you can get both Guardian Angel and Afterlife and Binding Heals. You have to choose between all 3 of these right now, and you can get all 3 of them in Dragonflight. Let's look at the Surge of Light row. So there's a row that has Cosmic Ripple and Surge of Light and Prayer Circle, which is now right here. You can now get all 3. You can have Cosmic Ripple, Surge of Light, and Prayer Circle if you want to. Okay? Let's go to the next row. Benediction, Divine Star, Halo. You get Benediction for free over here, and then you have to choose between Divine Star and Halo. So you get 2 out of the 3 choices there. Let's look at the final row. Light of the Naru is right here, which was never ever taken because it's just not as good as the other 2. Apotheosis and Salvation. They're down here. Apotheosis and Salvation you have to choose. Light of the Naru you can get for free. So again, 2 out of the 3 choices you can now get. So guys, we need to understand something really critical about these trees. We think that we're being stripped and that we're not getting, like, we're losing some of our abilities. That is not the case at all. There's a bunch of baseline passive abilities that you are getting that are right here, okay? On top of that, you're getting 61 choices instead of 7. And I just showed you that almost every single talent row in the current game, you can pick up 3, either 2 or 3 of the talents that are in those rows, as opposed to only getting 1. You are getting so much more power, so many more abilities that you can have just for free. You can have Surge of Light and Cosmic Ripple. You can have Benediction and Divine Star. You can have Trail of Light and Enlightenment and Renewed Faith. You can have all 3 of them. Like, this is insane. You can have Apotheosis and Light of the Naru. You can have Salve and Light of the Naru. And on top of that, we're getting even more stuff that we haven't even seen before. Let's get into that really quickly for Holy Priest. So, here's the damage stuff I was talking about earlier. Reduces the cast time of Holy Fire by 50% and reduces its cooldown by 40%. That's bananas, first of all, because Holy Fire hits really hard. Holy Fire now reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Chastise by 4 seconds. So that's like, I believe that's a baseline effect right now. So that's something you are having to, like, to grab again, but that's okay. Here's another thing. Smite now deals 30% more damage to targets who are affected by Holy Fire. Holy Nova now deals 30% increased damage to targets affected by Holy Fire. So that does give you some incentive to go over here and get the Holy Fire talents. Again, maybe the Holy Fire talents are just still dog tier. I don't know. We'll have to see what the numbers are. Here's the final row talent, Imperial Blaze. This is really cool. Refreshes Holy Fire. Your next 3 casts of Holy Fire cost no mana, incur no cooldown, and cast instantly. This is a 30-second ability. It has a passive effect. Whenever Holy Fire is reapplied, its duration is now extended instead. So now we're looking at a very legitimate Holy Fire build. Okay? This is actually insane. So Holy Fire is up here, of course. It does damage over 7 seconds. Every time you reapply Holy Fire now, it's going to extend the duration instead of just going over top of whatever Holy Fire you already had going. Your Smite now deals more damage to targets affected by Holy Fire, and your Holy Nova does more damage to targets affected by Holy Fire. This Imperial Blaze lets you cast 3 Holy Fires. You can spread it out. Holy Fire, Holy Fire, Holy Fire, Holy Nova. Now your Holy Nova does more damage. Are you seeing the build here? Also, Holy Fire just does a buttload more damage. Or sorry, it has its cast time reduced by 50%, and it reduces its cooldown by 40%. So it casts really, really quickly. It has a lower cooldown. You can spread it to 3 targets now. And it occurs no matter. You can have 4 Holy Fires going at one time if you want to. Your Smite will now do more damage, and your Holy Fire does more damage. And on top of that, you're reducing the cooldown of Chastise. It's really, really good. This is, like, incredibly good for damage for Holy Priest. Ultimately, what I'll just say is that there are so many tools coming for all the different classes. And it's just like you're going to get so much more damage. You're going to get so much more healing. It's actually going to be crazy. And especially for Holy Priest, you're getting all the Mindbender buffs here. You're getting all of the Holy Fire buffs right here. It's just bananas. Like, it's just going to be really crazy, guys. So I think, like, we need to be careful about saying that we're getting stripped of all these tools because we're not really sure. We're not really sure, but it feels like we're losing, like, these baseline abilities that we had, when in reality, we're still keeping a bunch of the baseline abilities right here. Okay, you have Smite, you have Power Word Shield, you have Shadow Word Pain, you have Mind Blast, you have Dispel Magic, you have Desperate Prayer Fade, Flash Heal. They're all there. Now, on top of that, you're getting 61 choices that you get to make your character incredible. That's way more choices than the 7 that we currently get right now. Yes, I know we have a bunch of baseline abilities within our kit, but in terms of the actual talents that we want to be picking for Holy Priest or for Priest in general, we are getting so many more options. It's not even close, guys. It's not even close. You can grab Trail of Light. Let me skip over to the game and show you exactly what I'm looking at here. Let me show you this really quick, just to wrap this up. You can grab Enlightenment, Trail of Light, and Renewed Faith. You only get to choose one of those right now. You can grab Guardian Angel and Afterlife and Binding Heal, which is going to be an active ability. You can grab Surge of Light and Cosmic Ripple and Prayer Circle. You can grab all 3 of those. You can get Benediction and Divine Star or Halo. You can get Light of the Naru and Apotheosis or Salve. Okay, let's just look at the talents, just straight up. Talent for talent, pound for pound, what can you get? I can get 7 choices here. With the new system, I can get 1, 2, 3. I think there's at least 2 of these. I have to choose here. I forget what the Desperate Prayer one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, like, I wasn't really even counting the CC ones properly. But you see what I'm saying there? I get 7 choices right now. I can get 15 choices just on the talent side in Dragonflight. It's at least double the number of choices that I want to have. At least. So, like, we need to stop thinking that there's not going to be any choices, because there's going to be. You get tons and tons and tons and tons of choices. It's actually really crazy. So that's Holy Priest for now. I'm going to do the other 2 specs in different videos because this video is already too long. So I know I said I was going to do all 3. I will, but I'm going to do Shadow Priest and Disc Priest in other videos. Let me just sum this up really quickly. Holy Priest is getting a ton of extra damage. That's one thing that they're getting for sure. We're talking about all these ones down here. All the Holy Fire buffs, Smite doing more damage, Holy Nova potentially doing more damage if you want to build that way. Your Smite's already doing 50% more damage over here. What the heck are we even talking about? This is insane. They're also getting a lot of healing tools, and they're getting more choices than they've ever had before. You can grab Light of the Naru and not feel bad about yourself. You can grab things. You can have Benediction for free over here. You can have Renewed Faith for free over here. You can have both Guardian Angel and Afterlife. They're getting a Battle Rez that you can actually take now and not sacrifice your Guardian Angel talent for the same thing. They're getting Lightwell, potentially, if you want to go down and get this talent. I'm not even sure how well this is going to work, but this is the old school Lightwell. It's actually not as old school as it was before, but it looks really cool. There's some big AoE healing buffs here to Divine Hymn. There's ways to get mana back, more ways to get mana back than we've ever had before, which is really, really cool. There's also this final Divine Words talent, which I didn't even get to yet, and I'll touch on it right now. The effectiveness of your next, so you have to cast this Divine Words spell, and then the effectiveness of your next Holy Word, Serenity, Sanctify, or Chastise is increased by 50%. So you get a 50% buff on your next, like, Serenity, and then it gives you a buff for 15 seconds. So if you cast Serenity, all your single target heals, Flash Heal, Renew, they critically strike more often, they heal for more, and they cost less to cast. If you press Sanctify, it blesses the area where it was cast. So if there's a fight where you need everybody grouped up on a circle together, like the current DeSausage fight, when she starts pumping AoE damage and everybody groups up together, this would be a great moment for something like this. And if you press Chastise, it increases the damage of Smite and has a chance to apply Holy Fire, so more damage, like I was saying before, for Holy Priest. There's another really interesting synergy here, is that if you use Divine Words and then you press Serenity, it makes your Renew heal for more. So you could press Divine Words and then Serenity a target and then press Sanctify. Or, sorry, then press Salvation. And it's going to add Renew to everybody. And your Renew is now going to heal for more and critically strike more often, which is kind of interesting, right? So there's some incredibly good synergies here. There's some incredibly good healing. Lots of AoE healing over here. Lots of talents that you could take that you didn't have access to before. Lots of really cool stuff like a cheat death, or not a cheat death, a battle res here. Insane amounts of damage with Holy Fire. A brand new cool Divine Words spell here. It's looking really, really good for Holy Priest. And the Priest class tree in general is also looking insane. Things like Power Infusion, things like Twins of the Sun Priest is a legendary effect. That's probably one of the best things in the entire game. More raid utility, more reason for a raid to want to take a Holy Priest into their fight. More damage with Mind Games, damage with Shadow Fiend. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be absolutely incredible, and the amount of builds that you're going to be able to come up with is going to be crazy. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Priest. This is just the Holy Priest video. I'm going to do a Disc Priest and a Shadow Priest video in the next couple of days, or I might get them out later today. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to work to get those videos done. Let me know what you think about Holy Priest and all the buffs that are coming in Dragonflight. I really want to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. If you do want to support the future of what I'm doing here, Patreon is the best way to do that. So get on the Patreon and support me on a monthly basis if that's what you want to do. Thank you once again, guys. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.